how's your meditation? And we say it's like a focused meditation, and after in the post meditations to kind of coming back from the meditations. And sometimes your mind is like not free, and you give job and to say, mind, you need to work on, and this and that. And then it's like certainly you release to kind of give freedom our mind. And then so again how it is. And afterwards, as we say, post-meditation means it's like to stop the meditations. And then it's like to analyze your mind, is how mind is concerning, how mind is thinking and acting. And mind is to understood something, or mind have had some experience, or mind experienced something. And before we stopped lunch, and we are like kind of the with meditation on impermanent, and searching or things are the permanent or not impermanent. Mind is checked. Outer environmental inner being included our own self. Whatever existence in this world, in the samsara of nirvana, there's something is, did you find stability or the permanent things? And to search, did you discovered something, or during the meditations completely forgot it? And just to concern lunch, and during the lunch, before the lunch, after the lunch, to talking very funny things, good, bad, and criticize, like this kind of, how do you say in French or in English, you like kind of chit-chat and gossip things. And when we look at ourselves, even during the short periods, how much we are watching our own minds. 1 second, 2 seconds, 10 minutes, 1 hour, also very difficult to look at the mind. And to have the mindfulness just a few seconds, and it's difficult. Then of course, to realize it to nature of the realities, it is quite difficult. And there's examples. If you have some water, and if you turn at it or churn it to stress this to this water is move, shaking. Maybe this water has never become clearly. Maybe even the cleaners, sometimes difficult to water shake. But if you water has to leave a little bit while without straight, or the, how do you say, to move or to shaking. And then is water slowly to clean, dirty things coming down, and then it's clearly. And exactly same as the water of the mind. And all the time is like a disturb or shaking, and all the time moving by the discursive thoughts. Then his mind all the time is kind of dirty of the confusion thoughts. Lot of misunderstanding, lot of thinking very kind of the useless things. It's truth. And in this case, we need to check. And before we say, it's like we meditate on, before we stop the lunch, and we analyze the environmental, we discovered it's impermanent. Why we think we are the permanent? Even this, the big, huge one, is bounded by the impermanent. And also in whoever living beings, they went into the disintegrated, impermanent. And this perspective also is like everybody's are the bounded by the impermanent. And also it is whoever will with us, wherever we go, and all the times there is kind of the impermanent, difficult to avoid and to concerning, then why I'm thinking I'm permanent. And the impermanent, it is truth, it is the realities. Even how many our friends went under the impermanent. Why I'm thinking I'm permanent? Maybe some loved ones, dearest, and also went under the impermanent. And why I'm thinking everything is truly existence and the permanent. And also many attendants, disciples, whoever connected to you, many of them went under the impermanent. And why I'm concerning I'm permanent. I'm not doing something benefit for my impermanent. And even some countries, lands, subjects, property, food, drink, and wealth, all those things there's nothing truly permanent things, stability things, no existence. Even I'm looking at them, they are under the impermanent. Why I'm concerning I'm permanent? Why I'm not to do something for my impermanent? And also it's just after to leave everything behind. Once is impermanent, it's demonstrated to us. The impermanent is the arrive, or we be in the door of the impermanent. We need to leave everything behind. There's the example like a hair being pulled out of the slab of the batter. It is the truth. We need to go alone in the middle of the surround, friend, loved one, attendants, disciples. Beautiful country, land, many subjects. Lot of you have properties, food, drinks, wealth. At that moment, we cannot take them to the next destinations. Even you might be governed over the tens of the thousands of people. You like a training 1,000 people under the you. During the day, hundreds guidance, securities, servers. But when is the impermanent arrive, we cannot take a single one as our own servant. You cannot take a single one as your servant. Impossible. And we need to go along. How we can to deal at that moment. The impermanent. All the wealth in the world would still not give you the power to take as much as needed, and threads, needles and threads. Maybe it is like you have such belongings, wealth, and your prosperities, extreme development. You have such power, richness. The honor of the world stinks, but impermanent arrive at. We cannot take with us a needle or even the single thread. Even our daily beloved body, how many years we taking care to say is my body. Give delicious food, delicious drink, lovely, soft, expensive clothes. How many we are beloved to our own body. It also too we need to leave in the behind. Going to leave the behind, cannot to take. That is also true. And that kind of the situations, what can we do? And there is one great one professor. When he give public talk or the speech in the university, he asked the university student, when we are died, something is survive or not? There is the questions, common questions. What do you think? When we died, when we go through the impermanent, something is survived. We call the dead. And that moment, our body there's no any more function. No breath, no verb. Body is become like materials. Even ugly, slowly is smelling. We cannot to look after. Worse and worse. At that moment, we call that dead. And then it's like in this situation, something is survived. It doesn't matter you call the soul, consciousness, mind, spirit. Something is survived or not. In the Buddhist perspective, yes, there is survived. Mind, consciousness. And body and verb cannot to keep longer anymore in that moment. But mind is need to go out from this body. It doesn't matter how many years you're taking care. During that times was wrapped up when we are in the life, silk and brocade is like kind of such a soft cloth, expensive cloth. And almost our body is never separated. Expensive cloth, like everything is made by the silk and Kashmiris. And that was the kept well, filled up with tea and beer. And that kind of the mouth, never separated, delicious drink, tea, alcohol, many like kind of soft drinks, which is more soft, delicious drink things. And that once looked as handsome and distinguished as the gods. Almost the happy, wealth, handsome, beauty can match it for the God. It's now the moment of the impermanent, this body verb, mouth, is become the corpse, called the corpse, dead body. And it's left lying there horribly lived. And when we are seeing after the impermanent our bodies, very much horrible. Living there is horrible way, heavy and distorted. And this kind of disgusting things is our body is become horrible, heavy, and distorted. Then it's like that moment, maybe for the body, benefit of body and mouth or the verb, maybe we done a lot of negative things in order to make the comfortable for body, make delicious food and drink for the mouth. Maybe many years we run after the collect things to try to make the comfortable and happy, soft, and to our loved body. But in these situations occurring, once is after the impermanent, body is nothing valuable, ruin out, smelling. And Jetsun Malaripa says, the Tibetan great yogi, this thing we call a corpse, so fearful to behold, is already right here, our own bodies. When we look at the corpse at that moment, we say it is a horrible, heavy, distorted. But this is horrible or heavy or distorted is already in this present right now, this is our body. Already like now with us. But at the moment, if we consider the true reality situation of the impermanent, and to do something benefit for that moment, and using this precious body verb, this special tool or special vehicle, special given is a good conditions, and then with this we can to work to find some solution for impermanent. I'm already in the to be in the impermanent situations. Our body is toasted up with a rope and covered with curtains, held in place with the earth and stone. Our bowl is turned upside down and our pillow near. Different cultures, different countries. Sometimes in our bowl inside to put some food. And some countries, they say it's 24.5 days. They all the time put food, drink things they own. This dead person's the cup. And after this person who is impermanent, they be in the intermediate state bardos. Sometimes this consciousness come back to the family's house to check that they belonging things. If you keep these things, it's a little bit kind of supporting. But anyway, this is kind of deceptive. Even some families put very delicious food, drink, in this dead person's cup or pellet. This dead person cannot eat. This dead person's consciousness become the smell eater. Only something smell should be satisfied. No matter how precious and no matter well loved for you were. Now you arouse horror and nuisance, ugly, disgusting. Before, very handsome, beauty, nice smells, and very much precious. Wow! Emanation, holiness, and venerable, noble. But after the impermanent arrived, become the very strange, horrible, and nauseous, is disgusting. Doesn't matter you are holy or precious, or you are immanent, or you are any kind of venerable, or superiors, or noble. You can't keep this person's cup. Want to quickly destroy it, burn, put on the ground, or put into the water. Need to hurry up to destroy it. Maybe one day, 100% this kind of happen for us. And separation of our mind and bodies. Who can to keep our body? Bodies become like this. Then consciousness needs to go through, traveling, next one life, another life. And in these situations occurs, what we need positive things, positive tendencies, accumulation, the cause of the happiness. It's the necessary. That is our most source of the refuge. That is the perfect protectors. That is the food. That is our companions. This need to concern you right now. Very important. You are happy or not happy. Sometimes to say, all the times meditate impermanent. No necessary. If you realize that our own nature, the situation of the impermanent, and then it's like, do you want to do something when it's arrived the impermanent in that moment? Or we don't want to do nothing. I don't want to concern it. I want to think different. Of course, it is democratic, we say, country. But reality is our own responsibility. Now is not yet sickness, not yet old age, not yet lose power, strength. To do something is possible. Day by day, month by month, year by year. Impermanent shadow is the closest, near and near. And the life strength, life food is exhausting. Like in the car is the petrol. You are driving on the highway. Of course, how many kilometers you can go. But automatically, the petrol is exhausting. Under the exhaustion pipes, it's running out. How we can put petrol? Which petrol stations? And it's very difficult. Maybe we need to find unexhausted petrol. I need to find great security path. And also need to reach what we want to be. That is the quickly, urgently. And you are thinking about like this or not? If you say no, okay, then I want to break 5 minutes.